Alright, I'm Luke Ferrell, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Pete's Dragon. And first thing, I like this movie a lot. It was pretty good, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to not be that good, but I expected it not to be as good, but it was better than I thought it would be. So first thing that happens shows Pete, a young toddler, Pete, and he's in the car driving with his parents, and his parents are reading him this book. I forget what it's called, but it says Eddie Elliot or something in it. And at one point they just, like, the car gets in a crash, they flip over. Next scene, it's in the dark, and he's like, and doesn't seem like he knows what's going on. Like, the windows were broken. I'm assuming his parents were dead because they never showed him again. So, and he's like, okay, cool. And he just walked into the woods with his book, and there's wolves howling. So he's just like, ugh. And he starts running, and then, like, there's wolves chasing him and stuff. And then he gets in a clearing, and he's like, what the heck? And these wolves come out, and it's like, for some reason they look like those wolves from Twilight or something, I don't know, but there's like this black one and stuff. And there's things like, it goes, and you can hear these giant footsteps, like, and then he's like, and the wolves are like, and then he's like, roar! And then, like, the wolves run and stuff. And, then, like, the dragon's like, hello, what's up? And then the kid's like, and he touches it, and then he's like, and then it shows, like, fast forward a little bit into, like, the future. It looks like he's about, like, 9, 10, 11, long, shaggy hair, very dirty. I think he's, like, in some pants like Mowgli or something in the Jungle Book or something, and they're like playing around and stuff, and they just show them hanging out for a while, and then this guy starts telling these kids a story about how he's seen a dragon and exaggerating it a little bit, and forget her name, but that girl with the red hair, like park ranger or something, she comes and says there's no such thing as dragons, and I'm on my way to the woods right there now, and something happens and she's there looking around, and Pete sees her and he starts walking, like hiding and stuff, and at one point she throws her her compass on a necklace or something, and he finds it, and they go back one day and they, like, with the kids, and they're like logging, and he hears like these logging equipment and chainsaws, and they keep, like, he's hiding and looking at them, and at one point this little girl, I forget her name, she's just looking at him, she's like, hey, and she sees him, and she's like, and she goes in the woods and follows him, and like, he's like, wait up, where are you going? She finally finds him, and he's going up a tree and stuff. And she goes up, and one point she fell, and it's like, and they're like, and she like fell off a branch, and she grabbed onto another branch, and he was like, grab my hand, and she was like helping pull him up, and they just continued falling down. And then the keeper are like, oh my god! And they run into the woods and stuff, and they're like, and they find him, and the lady's like, with like the lady that Bryce Dallas Howard, I believe her name is, played, and she's like, hey, give me that's mine, my compass. And then, like, she chases him, and she doesn't get it back, and she's like, where are you going? And then, like, they pull out a map, and she's like, well, he found my necklace here, and then he was all the way out here, which is far, and she's like, and she's like, how did they find him again? Well, he leaves and they find him, and he basically goes to stay with them for a while, and the dude with the beard and the kid, and they find some workers. Elliot sees the workers have a book, and he goes to attack them and stuff. And they're like, "Oh my God, it's a dragon!" And they start running, and then like they caught up with him, and he was really mad. He's like, and he sneezed the crap out of that one guy. He's like, ah! And he jumped in the car and stuff. And then they're at home playing and stuff, and showing them stuff. And the guy comes back. He's like, "There's a dragon. We're going hunting." And they go hunting, and they're back at home. And then after a while, they see Elliot wandered into the hey, Alice, come here. Come here. Okay. They wander into a he wanders, looks around the city, can't find him, and then he finds them in the house. He's like, and he gets really sad, and he goes back and stuff, and he says, "Elliot's scared without me," and he draws it, and they're like, "Who's Elliot?" And he's like, "He's my friend, you'll see." And then they draws a picture of it, and it's a dragon, and shows the little girl, and it's a dragon. She's like, "He looks like a dragon," and he's like, "What's a dragon?" He's like, "That." And then finally he shows the lady asked him what it showed him his friend, and she's like, "It looks like a dragon." And so they he takes her to the cave, and they look for him, and Pete goes into the tunnel, like this cave, and they're like, "Nope, that's a bad idea, don't go in there." And then he comes out, and he's like, "Shh," and then and her dad was with them, and he comes out, and you're like, "Oh my God, what the heck is that?" And you're like, "Cool." And then they find the dragon, and they tranquilize him a bunch of times. You're like, "Ah!" And they're like, "No!" And they grab ropes on him, and they're like, "No, not Elliot!" And then he tries to fly away after they keep shooting with tranquilizer darts, and he falls down, crashes through the trees, and they bring him to on the truck, and they follow the truck, and they said the guy who caught it says it's his dragon, and he shows like a bunch of loggers or something, and the dragon, they're like, "Oh my God," and he puts him in like a warehouse, like a barn or something, and they find Elliot, and they try and let him free, and they're following Elliot in the car, and they try to make Elliot fly, but he couldn't because he was still tired from the tranquilizer dart. And then they try and show the police Elliot, the dragon, and it's disappeared. And one thing about Elliot is he can make himself disappear. And they're like, "What?" And then he reappears when they take the truck and drive it around, and there's a whole bunch of people chasing them. And at one point, Elliot gets out of the car and he gets really mad, and then he gets on top of the bridge, and he's like, and then Pete's like, "Elliot, no, don't do it!" And he breathes fire onto the bridge, and almost causing the car with the little girl, Bryce Dallas Howard's person, whoever she's playing, and her husband with the beard, to almost fall, and they're like, "No!" And he picks him up and stuff, and they're like, "Oh my God, that thing's awesome!" And they go away, and at one point he goes back to Elliot, to live with him, and he just runs off without them, and then he goes back to live with them, and he's like says his goodbyes, and they to Elliot, and they show and they're like all crying, going back to the house, and the girls, they're carrying the girl that's sleeping, and they're like crying, and then Pete, they looked and Pete was there, and they're like, oh my god, and he's like, look who's there, and they find him, and they like take him in and basically take care of him and let him live there. And then they do this, he goes around, they go on a trip, and he's all got a haircut, new clothes and stuff, and well basically, and before that, like they're like, oh my god, I'm so happy to see you, and they hug each other and stuff, and then like they're like crying and stuff, and then they show like them going to look for Elliot, and they find him, and then he's like, and he like flies up, and he's like, and they find him, and he's invisible and stuff, and then he reappears, he's like, and then so they and then like he flies, and then there's more and more dragons, like he had a family flying up, and they're like cool, and he's like cool, and yeah, and then like the movie ended with a speech, and yeah, that's it for the review. Alright, let me see how to turn this thing off. Hold on. Oh, hold on.